Hey, it's James here from the CSE, and I'm welcoming you to our special presentation of how to pitch online. And I'm being joined today by Taylor Thoen, founder and CEO of BTV Business Television. Taylor, thanks so much for coming and sharing your tips today.
My pleasure, James. Thanks for having me.
All right, so let's jump right into it. So Taylor, one thing I noticed that you've mentioned in your previous talks is learn the platform that you're going to go use. Can you just describe what that means, what people should be preparing to do before they even get on the investor call?
Oftentimes, the folks that are orchestrating the event have something unique on a platform. And I've been on a few different ones myself. It's not always Zoom. Definitely test it beforehand. So schedule a brief session, even if it's like 10, 15 minutes. Make sure that you've got the software downloaded. Make sure that it's compatible with your device. Make sure that everything looks and sounds professional before you present.
Absolutely. And one tip I have for those watching or listening is don't broadcast from a mobile device. Don't walk around and just sit down, be in a nice, stable environment. Try to avoid the distractions, and everything else should go pretty smoothly. Once you've learned the platform, you know where you're going, and there's not going to be any technical glitches that you can avoid. I would suggest the most important thing is your audio, video, and lighting, AVL, understanding some of the dynamics that you can bring into play when you have the opportunity to present your company. So Taylor, I think other than audio, let's just talk about lighting for a second. You had a really great piece of advice that I heard recently about getting effective lighting.
You know, a good rule of thumb here for doing these, virtual presentations, James, is to make sure that the window is behind your screen. Okay. You want to make sure it's not behind you. My bright window is over there. And so then that light shines on me. So a good test that I always do, and you'll see people do this. You probably have seen people do it, and I call it the hand test. And so what you're looking for is where's the light brightest on your hand. And so here it's dark. So if I were turned around and faced this way, my face would be in a shadow. So as I move my hand around, the brightest part of my hand is actually right here, right where I'm facing. So the brightest part of my hand, see all the lights on my hand here? That's where I'm facing. It's a great tip. It's a camera tip. It's a great tip for also when you're taking photos with your friends and family too.
Right. And to get a good microphone as well, not much, just go to Amazon. You can get great stuff for like $80 or less. And then cameras. I mean, you can spend thousands upon thousands on cameras. But for web meetings, I mean, I think, Taylor, you told me you spend about $150 in yours. It's high def. That's going to be better than what's on your computer, most likely. So I recommend that.
Yeah, well, the laptops are the worst. So I've got a desktop because I'm at the office here. So I've got a good camera on there that has an excellent mic built in. Another thing you want to keep in mind is your distance. You want to be about 2 feet away from that. Not farther. Your audio is going to be compromised when you're using a high def mic and camera combo. And really don't use the cameras that are on your laptops. They're terrible. The quality is just super poor. So you want to get a clip-on one to use on that as well.
Right. And the bonus tip here is watch your angles. Try not to point it from an angle below your face. You're not going to be happy with the result. All that effort into getting a good lighting will go to waste if you do that.
Companies are paying thousands of dollars to do these virtual presentations. So spend $150 on a good HD camera, clamp it on to your whatever device you have, either laptop or desktop. Those are the preferred. Demonstrate it from there as opposed to a phone, which I would never recommend because it's this tall, skinny little video. And then the tablet, again, is not ideal.
All right. So once you've made it to the presentation, your lights, your audio, your video is good. You've got everything sorted out on the technical side. What comes out of your mouth and what you put on the screen is probably even more important. So, Taylor, you got some great tips on how to position an investor pitch for a virtual presentation.
Yeah. So the key thing here is, and we say this in television all the time, brevity is beautiful. You want to keep it short and you want to keep it simple. This goes without saying, avoid industry jargon. I have been guilty of this even in having conversations with clients using terms like, B-roll. People don't know what that means, right? So avoid industry jargon. If you can, tell a story. Often, CEOs will throw all these facts and figures out there and they don't stick. People don't remember facts and figures. What they do remember is a story. If they remember it, then they'll share it. And if they share it, then it can get viral. And so that's one of the things you want to try and have happen.
Yes, the art of storytelling. It's how you captivate people's imagination and hopefully get into their investment portfolio.
Think of, crafting your story like a movie trailer. I mean, we do a lot of TV commercials here on BNN behind me. What we always say is, what are the three key points? And we want to hammer three key points that are differentiators for you that make you stand out. Could be something like you're the biggest, you're the first, you're the only. What makes you unique or groundbreaking, the technology that you have, perhaps what's groundbreaking about it. One of the others that is a very compelling one is the problem solution. What problem in the world is your company solving? If you can sort of come in with that at the top of your presentation. Another one, of course, is supply demand. This one here typically is a great one for mining companies. So those are things that are interesting. They make me lean in if you can come in with something like that.
So you mentioned a lot of great things that you need to have in place as far as a story and a hook. Now, there are support materials that you can use, like slides. And maybe just tell us a little bit about what are effective slides for a presentation, an investor presentation in a virtual setting.
Yeah. So first off, not very many words. I think people, what I have seen in presentations that I've attended, even lately, is it's just the slide is full, right? And that's a no-no. You just want to have a couple key points on your slide. Again, getting back to brevity is beautiful. Key things, key points on there that you can talk to, and preferably talk to in a story. So, for example, you will see this often on a slide, and I'm sharing this with you so that if you have it on your slide, please remove it. Key points about our company: experienced management team, well financed. We're a leader in our industry. There's such blanket statements. There's nothing there that makes that individual company stand out at all. And there's no story in there either. So it's saying things like, we have a large, if it's a mining company, large land package. We have, 800 hectares. What does that mean? I can't relate to that, James. So, is it the size of, Jamaica? Is it the size of the island of Hawaii? How big is that land package? Like, put it into terms that are relatable and that paint me a picture. Of course, use video. If you have something to show, I want to see that. Describing it is never as impactful as actually sharing it on a clip.
How can people effectively use video in an investor presentation in a virtual setting? Because oftentimes pressing play on the video can create all sorts of chaos. When's the best time to use it, and how should you use it most effectively?
So the best way to use it is, I find, is at the top. And especially if the CEO is not doing a presentation, a good little CEO clip, something with the CEO talking, connecting, doing a quick overview is what we have seen work very, very well with clients of ours and virtual presentations.
Taylor, those are all amazing facts. They're going to be super helpful for anyone watching this that is going to be presenting their company to investors online. Can you just tell our viewers how you help at BTV?
We've been around for over 2 decades. We've profiled over 3,000 public companies on TV. We predominantly help companies by getting their story out. And in this new sort of virtual world that we're all in now, we continue to do that with helping companies craft their messages and create savvy, short little videos for them that they can use in their presentations. The picture is worth 1,000 words. Forrester did some research. 1 minute of video is actually worth 1.8 million words. So you can't describe that.
Yeah, when done right, it is extremely powerful.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening to these tips, and we hope you use them on the next investor presentation. Thank you, Taylor Thoen, so much for joining us today and sharing your expertise.
Great. Thank you.